Good afternoon, my dear students. My name is Tr.LUCY SIMOTWO, and I have taught in many schools. And today I'm going to teach you about essay writing paper 3, which is question 2, the compulsory question. So I'll take you through step-by-step way of writing a good essay. Now, when you are given a question, the first thing is to look at the question, understand the question, and get the right interpretation of the question. So I will give you the general guidelines, and then I'll give you an example, and then we move together. So the question that we are going to look at is on Blossoms of the Savannah by Henry Ole Kulet. And the question goes, okay, so the question goes, basing your illustration on Blossoms of the Savannah by Henry Ole Kulet, write an essay to negate the statement, blood is thicker than water. So the first thing that should come to your mind even before writing your essay is you have to identify the key words. So the first one is to negate. And in this case, if you're not careful, you could write an essay that is exactly opposite of what the examiner expects. So to negate is to refute. Yeah? So you're refuting the statement, blood is thicker than water. In other words, you are trying to tell us that sometimes blood is not thicker than water. So looking at this proverb, the key word here is blood. And when we talk about blood, we are talking about relations. We are talking about relations. And the type of relations that we are talking about is blood relations. So what comes to your mind when you talk about blood being thicker than water? You think about the characters that have been betrayed in the text by people who are related to them by blood. So then now you move to your introduction. Now that you have understood the question, and now that you have interpreted the question the right way, then you can move to the introduction. There are many ways of writing the introduction, but the one that I will recommend is writing the introduction from what we call general to specific. So in general to specific, you will come up with a general statement that clearly reflects or clearly demystifies this proverb. So there are many examples that you could even say that sometimes the people that are related to us or sometimes family might not always come through for you. That is a general statement. Another student could say that in life it is not always true that the people that stand with you are family. Some other person would even say that sometimes the people that we least expect to assist us or to support us in time of need are the people that come through. And then after getting your general statement, you will go straight away to specific on what we call the textual statement. In this case, you will relate your general statement to the text. So you could come up with something like, let me just write for you a sample introduction. So you look at my general statement. Sometimes in life, family might not come through for you in times of adversity. That is how I have interpreted the statement, blood is thicker than water, and negated it or refuted it. Then I will say, in blossoms of the savannah, and also remember that you must underline the title, Blossoms of the Savannah, and then the name of the author by Henry Olekulet. The other trick is to come up with at least 2 examples. Sometimes even 1 is enough. And we say that when you're writing an essay, your mind should be moving back and forth like the seesaw. So at this point, you're writing your introduction, but there are people you're thinking about already. You're thinking about Mama Milanoi, you're thinking about Olekaelo, you're thinking about the main character, Rezian, you're thinking about Tayo and such characters. So come up with 1 example. So the best one that I have picked is the example of Rezian in Blossoms of the Savannah by Henry Olekulet. Rezian is betrayed by her own father. Now you see my introduction. In Blossoms of the Savannah by Henry Olekulet, Rezian is betrayed by her own father, Olekaelo. So the moment I write such an introduction, the examiner knows that I have interpreted my question the right way. The examiner knows that the essay that I'm going to develop is a good essay, that the essay is within the expectations of the marking scheme. So what is important, we have our introduction, which is very crucial when writing your essay. You can never write an essay without an introduction. Very important. Once you're done with your introduction, you will move to the paragraphs. And someone could ask, how many paragraphs do I need? You only need 4 main paragraphs. And those paragraphs should be well illustrated. These 4 paragraphs must be well illustrated because each paragraph is 3 marks, yeah? So, a good paragraph must have what we call the topic sentence, the illustrations, and then the clincher, sentences. So we will look at the components of a good paragraph. Components of a good paragraph. Number one, we have the topic sentence. And then we have the illustrations. And then we have the clincher sentence. So now, what is a topic sentence? The first thing you need to know about a topic sentence is the fact that a topic sentence will always come first. In this type of essay, it's actually the first sentence. The other thing about a topic sentence is it must answer the question. So a topic sentence is the first sentence in each paragraph, and it must answer the question. Now, looking at our main part of the question, it says, blood is thicker than water. And remember, what we are doing is we are negating this statement. We are refuting this statement. We are saying that blood is not thicker than water. So our topic sentence must answer this question. So the first one that we will talk about is Rezian is betrayed by her father. So looking at this statement, it answers the question already. Rezian is betrayed by her father. Another student would even write, Olekaelo betrays her daughters. These two sentences are not the same, but they do answer the question. That in this case, when we talk about Rezian being betrayed by the father, we are trying to say that indeed Rezian, who is daughter to Olekaelo, should not have been betrayed by the father. So we are refuting that blood is not thicker than water. Now, we will move to developing our paragraph. Now look at our topic sentence. Olekaelo betrays Rezian when he forcefully marries her to Olosudori. That statement answers our question. So we move on to our illustrations. Do we know the who? Do we know the why? Do we know the when? Do we know the what happened? Do we know the when it happened? So we are explaining on and supporting our topic sentence. So we will say something like Olekaelo denies Olekaelo denies Rezian a chance to go to Egerton University to pursue veterinary Instead, he receives dowry from his business financer he forcefully wants Rezian's marriage without her consent to save himself from Olosudori who has threatened him. You see now, these sentences that follow the topic sentence are called illustration. You can go as far as you can, and no one should limit you on how long to develop your paragraph. It actually depends on how much you want to write, as long as you're supporting your topic sentence, as long as you're giving evidence. So we know what transpired. We know that it is Olosudori who financed Olekaelo's shop in Nasila. We know that he even financed the building of his house, and now he wants his money back. And we've been told that Olosudori is in a cult, Olosudori is a poacher, Olosudori is a criminal. So at this point, the only thing that Olekaelo can do is to freak out when Olosudori makes his demands. And so without even thinking about his daughter first, he yields to the demand of Olosudori wanting to marry Rezian. And so he orchestrates everything and plans on how Olosudori will get what he wants. So as a father, we actually expect Olekaelo to be the one to defend Rezian by all means, but we see that he's not supportive of higher education. He is not supportive of Rezian's desires. And we are told that at some point, actually, Olekaelo hates Rezian just for being a girl, because Rezian is the second daughter. Rezian is the second daughter, and Olekaelo's desire was to get a son. And therefore, when he gets another daughter, he gets so infuriated because according to his culture and the Ma culture, a boy child is better than a girl child. So we see that Olekaelo resents Rezian right from birth. And now when this opportunity to marry her off to a man who is way, way older than him comes, he does not hesitate. Yes, he is the father, he is the blood, but he does not protect the daughter. Instead, he is the first person to hurt his daughter. So all those illustrations could actually follow the topic sentence. And then once you're done with your topic sentence, you're done with your illustrations, then you go to what we call a clincher sentence. A clincher sentence basically means you're wrapping up your paragraph. It's a replica of a topic sentence, but this time round, you are trying to just conclude your paragraph. So you could say, in a way of insisting that instead of protecting Rezian, Olekaelo resents her. Olekaelo resents her and goes against her wish. Yeah, very good. So that is one example of a paragraph that you're likely to develop. Now I'll give you another example, the second paragraph. Okay. The second example, we will look at this lady called Nabaru. Rezian refers to her as my God-given mother. So we see that Nabaru is not related to Rezian by blood, but she steps in and helps Rezian when she is in need. So we will come up again with our topic sentence and say that Nabaru helps Rezian escape Olarinkoi and takes her to Minik. You see, Nabaru helps Rezian escape Olarinkoi and takes her to Minik and Enkoitoi. Remember, Rezian's dream was to go to Egerton University. The father was not supportive. The submissive Mama Milanoi could not even fight for her daughter's right. But a woman, an old woman, a traditional doctor, meets Rezian at the time where she needed help most, and she comes through for her. Not her blood. She did not know her before, but she's the woman that comes to support Rezian. Now, we know what happened, we know what transpired. So in your illustrations, those are some of the examples that you will give. You want to tell us why did Nabaru help Rezian, when did this happen, where, and the circumstances around it for you to actually get the mark. So you will say something like, because now we know why Rezian has to be rescued. We know that this evil man called Olarinkoi tricked Rezian and kidnapped her. And in what we would say was an attempted rape, she almost killed Rezian, and Rezian was badly hurt. And we know the conspiracy between Olarinkoi and her mother, Oloiboni, to have Rezian circumcised and marry Rezian to Olarinkoi, which is within their culture. But this Nabaru, even though she's pro-FGM, she comes to think about it and says that Rezian does not deserve this kind of treatment. The main reason is She says, yes, FGM is good. FGM is right according to her, but you cannot just circumcise a child whose parents are still alive, but without their consent. So it's on those grounds that Nabaru decides to rescue Rezian. And look at Nabaru. This is the woman that takes Rezian to Minik and Enkoito, also called Emakerere, a lady who eventually helps Rezian realize her dream. So it is true to say that blood is not always thicker than water. So I will help us illustrate this, and then we will also write a clincher. So Nabaru yeah. Okay. So we are talking about how Nabaru rescues Rezian from Olarinkoi, who kidnapped her and attempted to rape her. And this same man, Olarinkoi, conspires with his mother to have Rezian forcefully circumcised. So if you remember, Rezian is deep into the Esoit village. She cannot escape. Going to that place was a challenge. There is no way she can run. And therefore, this woman who has been given the responsibility to try cure her from the beatings she received from Olarinkoi pities her, and she becomes more of a mother to Rezian than even Mama Milanoi would. So what she does, she gives Rezian traditional medicinal herbs and milk, and when she recovers, she carries her to a lorry and ferries her to Minik and Enkoito's home. Now you see what I have done? What I have done is I have given my explanations to actually support my topic sentence. I have talked about the who, I have talked about the why, I have talked about the when and all that. And then now I will write my clincher just to wrap up my paragraph. So I will say that indeed Nabaru proves to be more motherly than Mama Milanoi. Now you see, the same thing, not related by blood, but she's the person that comes through for Rezian. So I'll give you the last paragraph, and then you will write the last paragraph. Yeah. So the other person that we will look at is Mama Milanoi. She's one woman that annoys everyone in the text, because it said that in times of adversity, the people that annoy the most are not the people that wrong us, but the people that take a neutral stand when we need them to speak. So this person is Mama Milanoi. And apart from that, Mama Milanoi is she's a very submissive woman. She's a yes type of woman. She values her husband more than her two daughters. When Olekailo says move to the right, that is Mama Milanoi. She follows her husband's rules to the letter. And even at the point where her daughters are really suffering, she takes advantage of the whole situation. So what does she do? She conspires with the three women, what we call the three mice in the text. And one of them is Enkamuratani. And you know, Enkamuratani is the woman that walks with her blade to circumcise women. So what this woman does, she conspires with the three women, lies to Tayo, the daughter who is remaining, that Rezian has been found in Quito village, and she has refused to eat until she sees Tayo. And all this is a lie. What she's planning is that after Rezian's escape, and now Olosudori is on their case, they have to replace her. And not only replacing her, at this time, Olosudori is even making more demands. He wants the two daughters. And now they are freaking out. Instead of protecting this other girl that is remaining, it's Mama Milanoi that helps to conspire and to orchestrate the circumcision of Tayo, which is very wrong. So we will come up with a topic sentence that Mama Milanoi conspires with the three women to have Tayo circumcised. You see, Mama Milanoi, who is Tayo's own mother, we expected her to protect Tayo, but she's the person who conspires with the three women to have her own daughter circumcised. And we know that that word, Intoyene Mengalana, is a term that is greatly despised in the Ma community. But instead of Mama Milanoi looking at the interests of her own daughters and the desires of her own daughters and the rights they have over their bodies, she's the person who allows Tayo to go about the barbaric ritual. So this topic sentence, when you look at it keenly, it directly answers the question that blood is not thicker than water. So I'll go ahead and give the illustrations and my explanations and why and who and what happened. So I'll say that Mama Milanoi tricks Tayo into believing that Rezian has been found in Quito village, and that she has refused to eat, and that she has refused to eat until she sees her sister Rezian. Now you see, now we know the why and the how it happened. Mama Milanoi tricks Teo into believing that Rezian has been found in Inkito village and that she has refused to eat until she sees her sister Rezian. So now you see the lie that Mama Milanoi uses to have Tayo undergo the ritual. When you know very well that Rezian has not been found in Inkito village, Rezian has been found in Esoit and Nabaru is rescuing her. How can your own mother deceive you and trick you into getting into such a barbaric ritual? So now we say that despite Joseph Parmoit's effort, or rather let's talk about what happened when Tayo gets into Inkito. She is forcefully circumcised by the Enkamuratani. Despite Joseph Parmoit's effort to rescue Tayo, she ends up undergoing the ritual and Joseph and Parmoit is killed. Now you see how I'm portraying Mama Milanoi, that she's the person that tricks her own daughter to undergo this, and Joseph Parmoit, who is not even blood, tries to save her, but he ends up getting killed by the Olosudori men. Now, how do we wrap this? I'll say that instead of standing up for her daughters, Mama Milanoi orchestrates and lies to have Tayo circumcised. Now you see that type of a paragraph. It has the topic sentence, it has all the illustrations and the explanations, and then it has the clincher sentence. Now the other thing that I have not added here, but you could actually add as your illustration, you could even say that when Olekaelo plants, or when Olekaelo forcefully marries the two daughters to Olosudori, Mama Milanoi does not speak. Instead, she dances to the tunes of Olekaelo. You remember even that part where she's the person who accompanies Olekaelo to Milimani Estate in Nakuru to see where Rezian will eventually live after her marriage to Olosudori. So she doesn't really stand up and speak for her daughters. So who is she? She is blood, yes, but she behaves like a total stranger. There are so many examples that you can talk about, And these ones I will allow you to develop one more paragraph, because we said the structure of a paragraph is you must have your introduction, you must have 4 well illustrated paragraphs, and then your conclusion. So we have already done 3. We are left with 1, which you will do as your homework. But I expect you to write about this lady called Minik Enenkoitoi. This is an educated Maasai woman, and we know that she went to Makerere University, and hence the name Makerere. And she has rescued over 500 girls from FGM. And this woman, she's an epitome of success. This is one woman who stands for girl-child education. She stands for girl-child right. She fights against early marriage. Minik Enenkoitoi, despite the fact that she is not related to these girls by blood, she rescues the girls. 2 of her beneficiaries, Rezian and Tayo, when they are brought to her, what does she do? She gives them a job, then secures position admission letters at Egerton University, and supports these girls in achieving their dreams of becoming veterinary doctors. She doesn't know Rezian. She's not related to her. Her father has refused to support her education. Her mother is conspires actually with the other 3 mice to have Tayo circumcised. The parents are very toxic, but this woman comes to the girl's aid. So indeed, it's true to say blood is not always thicker than water. The other person is Joseph Parmouat. Sometimes I pity Joseph Parmouat because he dies for he actually dies for love. Look at Joseph Parmouat and the love that he has for Tayo. This is a man who goes out of his way to rescue Tayo from circumcision. Even though he succeeds in rescuing Tayo, but the girl has already undergone FGM, but at least he succeeds in stopping this girl from getting married to Olosudori. So this is what happens in a nutshell. Joseph Parmouat investigates and follows Rezian to Enkito village, and since we know Olosudori is a very rich man and influential, he's put all his security guards to take care of this girl and make sure she doesn't escape. And what Joseph Parmouat does is he tricks them into a liquor spree. Basically, he tricks them to go and drink. And at that moment, Minik's rescue team steps in, and it fetches Tayo from where she was confined. And when these men came back and realized that Joseph Parmouat had tricked them so they could actually rescue Tayo, they end up killing him. So now you see the extent that he goes to protect Tayo, a girl that is not even related to him by blood, even though we are told they are brothers, but not that close the way Mama Milanoi and Ole Kaelo are to the girls. He gives his life for the sake of Tayo. So those are some of the examples that I would like you to write about. Remember, come up with a good topic sentence, illustrate your paragraph properly, and then write your clincher sentence. And then once you're done, you write your conclusion. Your conclusion is just a summary. Okay, so your conclusion is it should be very brief, and then please also start with a transitional word in conclusion, you could even say to sum up, as long as you give your own opinion, you give your personal opinion in the conclusion. So something like, in conclusion, it is evident. Yeah, you know, the conclusion is almost similar to the introduction because it's a recap of what you have written. In conclusion, it is evident that strangers can support you more than family. You can talk about, say, characters such as, let's talk about Nabaru, characters such as Nabaru and Minik and Nkoitoi. Yeah. Help Rezian and Tayo to achieve their goals more than their own parents. You're getting, that is a sample conclusion. So just to a recap of what we have done, we have written our introduction, then we have written our 4 paragraphs, well illustrated, and then we have done our conclusion. So that's it for today. Be confident, revise more for your exam, and especially for the candidates you have less than 3 months to your final exam. I want to wish you success. Do not cram. Get all the facts right. Bye-bye.